Hello to everyone there. My name's Keller Murray. I'm an Indigenous Australian from the Aboriginal community of Sherbig. I just want to share with you a little something. See, where I'm from, Sherbig, a lot that goes on, murder, rape, domestic violence, everything you can think of. And because it's such a small community, it's really in your face, And throughout it, my whole life there, living in Sherbig, there's one thing I've come to realize, and that's that Jesus Christ is real. To tell the truth, I never did believe in Jesus, It just wasn't for me. I was my own God. I was alright. It was me. It was all about me. And I knew that I'd make it in life no matter what I believed in, because it was just me. But then one day, my uncle, he was a pretty influential guy in my life, and one day I hear that he's committed his life to this Jesus, and I knew him before he, of course I knew him before he gave me out to the Lord, and he was one of the guys that I looked up to. He's a big fella. He played football. He's a man that could hold his beer too. And I remember I used to go over to his place every Saturday night, and we'd always watch the footy. And every time we'd watch the footy, because he'd gamble and he'd bet a lot of money on what he used to watch. And he would swear and he would carry on. He'd swear at every mistake that they made because he was betting on the game. But then one Saturday I went over there, and this was after I actually found out that he committed his life to this Jesus, And he didn't swear. He was just not a different person. He was humble. To tell you the truth, he didn't take much interest in football at all. He was worried about feeding us, because he would always provide big feeds, And I remember he said to me that night that I left, he said, son, you pray? And me, because he was one of those guys that rave on, I just yeah, of course I pray, just to shut him up, But as I was walking home, I felt really guilty about that, I'm like, I don't pray, and I should not lie to Marco like that. And there was this part of me just saying, well then, what's the harm in praying? So I decided to pray, and I didn't know how to. There isn't a way or a method to pray, but I just honestly prayed. And there's one thing that I always prayed for, and that was that my mother would give up smoking. I always prayed that my mom would give up smoking every night, and just every night I just prayed, and I just said that simple prayer: Lord, please help my mom to give up smoking, because she was smoking since she was 16, and she was in her 50s now. And seriously, I'm just amazing that she doesn't have cancer or anything like that. Or she doesn't have any serious illness, From the age of 16 to the age of 50, just smoking 2 packets a day, averaging. And honestly, I knew that was going to hurt her, and she couldn't give it up. She couldn't give it up. And I just prayed for it. I didn't see results straight away, and didn't expect to, because, I was just praying. But then one day, Mum picked me up from school, and I was sitting in the car, and she threw the pack of smokes at me. It was Benson Hedges Special Filter, and I knew what they were because I used to hide them from her. And she threw the pack of smokes at me, and she says, son, I'm giving up. And I looked at her face, and I could see that she was third income. I see that she was real, and that she was honest about it. And then something just hit me, and I don't know what it was, but I just realized that, hey, you know what? I think that was an answered prayer. I didn't think much of it, but something felt real there. And my prayers just started getting a bit stronger, and I just started to pray a bit more. And one day my uncle invited me along to church, and I said, that's the least I could do. If Jesus did really answer my prayer, then that's the least I could do, just tag along to church, sit down, and just listen to what the preacher has to say, just listen to the music. And I tell you, I had no peace whatsoever when I was sitting in that church. There was no peace whatsoever. I don't know what it was, but I was sitting down, and there was a specific song that was tailored for me. It was saying, have you been to Jesus for that cleansing power? Are you washed in the blood of the Lamb? There were songs like that was hitting me, words that were just, what people were saying in the church was just coming to my mind. I'm like, hey, just kept hitting me. And I just decided to do it. I decided to follow Christ. I decided to follow Jesus Christ. That was 3 years ago. And today, I'm here in my unit at Bond University, and I'm studying a law degree. And you know what? I didn't have to pay 1 cent, not 1 cent, not even the fuel to get here, to go to this university. I'm on a full-time scholarship, which is worth $150,000 to go to this uni, which they say is equivalent to Harvard University. It's Australia's Harvard University. It's an amazing university, and it's got a big recognition for the law business. And how I'm here, I don't know, but I remember I prayed once. I said, Lord, let your will be done in my life. And if it's your will for me to go to uni, take me. Just an honest prayer. And boy, oh boy, did he take me. Look where I am now. Bond University. Didn't pay 1 cent. Praise the Lord.